Hi, I'm Subu, bringing crafting to you, and today I'm going to show you this lovely funfold card that I've made. It opens up and you display it in the W, and then you can have it showing either way, and then that's where you write who it's to on the back. Right now, I'm hoping I'm going to stay in shot because I'm not rigged up my iPad, and I've just thought that's what I did last time, so hopefully we'll be okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is get a piece of DSP, and we've had all this lovely free DSP, so I'm wanting to use up this. So I've got a piece that is 12 inches by 6 inches. So on the 12-inch side, I'm just going to score this, and because it's DSP, I'm not going to score too heavy. So I'll score it at 3, 6, and then let's pull out the arm and go 9. Let's get that in. Okay, 3, 6, 9, and that's how we want it at the moment. I'll just move my trimmer, and then we're going to fold it as a gatefold first. So you want DSP that's got a nice coordinating side, front and back. So I'm bringing this in to do a nice gatefold to start with. Okay, and then I'm just going to bend it back as well, because this is where the pop out comes. So I'm just folding that down there, crease that down the middle, so that you'll end up with a W shape like that. Okay, so I'll use my bone folder just to reinforce those creases. So just make sure that you've got those creases right, that you're matching up with your corners. So take a little minute to do that. Should have moved my stuff out of the way. I'm just not getting it quite where I want it. There. So hold it that way. Crease, that's fine. Okay, and just crease those down there like that. So having the zigzag pattern inside and the plainer colour on the outside. Okay, so first and foremost, what I've done is already cut out, but I just wanted to show you. I actually cut a strip that is just under a 1/2 inch. So I've cut a strip that's just under 1/2 inch, and then I put, now this is from hand penned, and I just use post-it note. And what I do is, once you've got your strip that is just under 1/2 inch, I put my die on so that it's just at the edge of the paper, and use some post-it notes to secure that down, and then run it through your die machine. Now when you pull it out of the die machine, it will still be attached, because you want something that is 6 inches in length. So just make it just under 1/2 inch by 1/16 under 1/2 inch by just over 6 inches, and then you just cut these sides at an angle so that these will just nicely fit on here like this. Now I'm just going to move these out of the way, and I'm just going to go over the edge where my burrs are. Okay, so just going to do same either side, just gives you that nice finished edge. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm going to put the glue. So where you see the actual perforated edge, I'm just going to put glue down that. Okay, and then I'm going to line it up so that it's got top and bottom. Now when you can see it, I'm going to line the perforated edge. When you see, there will be a little bit of DSP poking out, and I'm going to cut that off, so don't worry about it. So what I'm doing, I'm turning it on the other side, and I'm getting, I'll just check that I did. Yeah, so we're just going to put it so that that perforated edge just disappears under the DSP like that. So can you see? So the perforated edge I've just got rid of. That gives me a nice straight edge there, and just don't worry too much if it's not quite there, because what we'll do with our snips, we're just going to round that corner so you can see that I'm just going to cut that so that it won't show, and there's barely anything on that side. Okay, so there, there and there. Okay, and we're going to do the same with the other side. So you want two of those, and as I say, I've just cut either side. I'm going to go again for gluing just from the straight edge to the perforated bit. Okay, and then I'm going to, oops, let me get rid of that off there, because if I don't, then ouch. Okay, and oh, I've just done it again now, haven't I? So I'm just going to get where the perforated edge, so you can start it on one side if you like. Then I'm going to just let me move any glue, so I don't want that going on my project. So sorry for the wobbly camera. So again, what I'm doing is I'm just going to knock that down till I get rid of the perforated edge, so I can't see the perforated edge. So make sure it's straight, and just look how it's falling at top and bottom. So I'm gonna bring that down slightly. So let me pull it down slightly and just check again that the perforated edge has all disappeared. It has. There we go. And then just use your scissors to just get rid of that little bit there. And I'm going to turn this way round and get rid of that little bit there. Okay, so I'm hoping I'm in your shot, because as I say, this setup I am really struggling, but once I get back down into my room, then it'll be all right. Okay, so I'm going to bring in, oh, if you want to know the colours, this is Petal Pink. And in the zigzag, it's got Calypso Coral, Petal Pink and Highland Heather. So I've accented here with Highland Heather, and I'm just going to bring this in, and I'm going to get it matching my top and bottom. So if you can see, I've got the matching top and bottom where the perforated bit is in here. So I'm going to only, so I'm going to put my finger on that, only do this half. Okay, so I don't want to go over this bit, because that's going to only need this gluing. So I'm eyeballing it to make sure that it's about level. Okay, and just making sure that I've got the top and the bottom, and I'm then going to bring in another of these. Now this is the Stylish Shapes largest square. Okay, so this time I want to have glue on the opposite side, so I'll just roughly put it on there and know that it's this side that I want to glue on. So I'm going to glue down here. Okay, and then go back. Now what you need to do, because this one is overlapping, I want these to be exactly right. So what I'm doing is I'm matching them so that they match exactly. And I like to keep going over. It's difficult with me doing it so I'm not on top of it because you've got to see it. But this will absolutely match over the top that you can't see it. Okay, so when you open it up, it might be very slightly out with the second of your, but it's so slight that as long as that's covering that, in fact that, oh, it's okay like that, yeah. So we're going to do that and then open it up. And I've cut an identical, this is the largest, as I said, this is the largest of the stylish squares. I've cut another one out in the coordinating DSP, and I'm going to stick this, I'm just going to make sure I've got it right to the ends. I'm going to stick this so you don't see the inside of your Highland Heather. So I'm going to make sure, so I'm going to bring it up in eyeline, just absolutely matching it up and making sure it doesn't show on the other side. So, oops, got to make sure it's exactly, I'll have to put that on again because I'm not over it to see it, because I'm wanting you to get the better angle, I'm not. So we've just got to mess with that until it's not showing. It's getting too tacky now. Oops, I'm gonna have to put a bit more glue on now again. The beauty of wet glue is you can play around with this. Mine does dry quite fast, so I didn't have enough time just then, so go back in again. It's not difficult. I'm making it look difficult. It's because the camera is in my way. But when the camera's not in your way, then obviously you're fully over the top of it and you can see. And as long as it does not show on that side, there we go. That's more or less it. I'm happy with that. So I'm just going to then commit to it down. I'm going to do the same again at the other side. So what have I done with my bit there? Yep, that's the right one. So see if I can do this slightly quicker and easier. So I'm going to get it right to the edge. And then let's see if I put it down on here, whether, hoping you can see that. So I want it exactly one top of each other. Yeah, that's good. And then put that. Okay. Now, so when we close it, so that one closes first and that one closes second. Now we're going to cut ourselves a little piece. I didn't cut myself, no I didn't. So we're going to cut ourselves some little pieces to actually put inside. And I've not brought my Highland Heather. Excuse me 1 minute. I don't know why I forgot this bit. You just need a scrap of Highland Heather for this bit. I'm just going to do it, I think probably, let's try 3 inches. That might be too long. And I'm going to cut it down to 1/2 inch. So don't take this measurement until I'm absolutely convinced it's okay, because it might be actually too long, I think. I'll just see. So I'm going to score this currently at 1.5. Oh, it might be all right. So it's 3 inches by half and score it at 1/2 inch. And I'm just going to make sure that this will go just in the middle without it showing. Yes, that looks fine. So 3 inches by 1/2 inch, and you're going to score it at 1.5 and then just fold it in half. Okay, so I'll do that first. Just move that out of the way, and then we'll open this up. Now we need to put this on the fold, so make sure it's the right way, and we're going to again make sure that this is absolutely buried. Okay, so we want it so it's buried, and we'll see. That should do it all right. Yeah, okay. So I'm eyeballing really top and bottom, but I'm making sure that the point of the top and the bottom are at the score line. Okay, so I'm going to glue down one side first of my piece that I've just scored, and I'm roughly going to put this in the middle. So I'm going to put it in the middle, and I've only glued the bottom part. Just make sure they are level with the score line, and I'm going to do the same at the other side, so leveling it with the score line there. Okay, make sure it doesn't inhibit your score line, and then I'm just going to put glue on the top there, and then we'll just make sure that this is level top and bottom. Just close that to make sure it's roughly in the right place. I'm going to pull it down fraction, okay, so that you'll see that when it floats it's going to look the same. So just going to make sure that I've got that roughly. Oh, that's better, isn't it? If I pull the first one down, that will give me a better one. So if you use the first one like I'm doing now, use the first one, make sure it's on that score line, so I've got it level with the top and bottom. Keep going back, make sure it's level with the top and bottom. No, that's out, so it wants going up a bit. Let's have a look. So I'm going to pull that in. I think roughly, yeah, that'll do, because that folds over like that, and then you've got the lovely pop out happening now, and you see that that pops out like that. Now we put that on, and we don't want this showing at all, so we have got 2 pieces to stick on. So these measure 2 7/8 by 5 7/8. So they're just going to now sit on the back here so that it covers that up. Okay, so I've used the same paper because it coordinates, of course, together. And this is a great way of using up all this massive paper that you've collected during celebration. That all coordinates beautifully together. So we are going to make sure that you've got equal increment top and bottom, which I haven't at the moment. Come on, off you come. Normally I stand up to work, and this is half my problem, because with me not standing up, I can't get things as level as what I normally do. It's just how you work, isn't it? So when I film, I stand up all the time, and I can see what I'm doing. but I'm trying my best to be sat down because of I'm on a picnic bench and its seats stick out. I can't get to the table properly without sitting down, so you know, that's just how it goes. But there we go. So get that top and bottom equal, and that's make sure those at the bottom are level and those at the top are level. Okay, that's great. Okay, now the next size down in the I think it's the next, I'll just double check that this is the next size down for you. I'm saying it is, but we better double check. So I've cut these all in the same, and so we've got that lovely border going off there. Can just put that down there in the middle. Okay. Now, of course, adding every panel, we're adding strength to the DSP. Ours is quite a good, sturdy, thick DSP. And so I'm adding more and more panels to it so that it does really become more and more sturdy as we go along. But hopefully it's getting fine to actually send in the post. So let's see, I think that's okay. I'm getting these right now. This is a panel that I've just decided to put on, and this panel I just happen to have got a die that's like this. So if you haven't got a die, what I suggest you do is that you can make it bigger to match this one. So what I would suggest you do is you should get a piece that is the same size as these, which is 5 7/8 by 2 7/8. And what I would do is measure halfway between your 5 and your 7/8. So measure halfway and then measure in about 5/8 and put a little mark. So put a little mark and then come down about maybe an inch and then cut to that line. So you're cutting like that. But as I say, I happen to have got a die like this. You don't have to put this piece in. I just wanted to make it different, so I've and as I say, adding strengthening to it. So I'm just putting this on to add the strength to it and give it so it will work if you do, as I say, have that. If you wanted me to send you this cutout, I would send you that cutout if you was making this card. And you want this particular die cut, I could die cut and post you this second class. You just need 4 of these pieces. I'd be very happy to do that if you send me the DSP that you want it doing in. So just put that there. I'm just going to have to see. I think that's about it. Make sure. Yeah, I think that's right. Just have to make sure that that is there. That's about right. Okay, now we're going to get on decorate. Now, what I wanted to do is I wanted to have these sprigs that come from the and they're still wet. I wanted, is that, no, I'll leave those two. these are from the Fitting Florets, and I tried something, and I think if you have got I'll get my train of thought in a minute. If you have got white embossing powder, that will work far better. Okay, I have only got clear embossing, apart from gold and silver, and I have made a mess really doing it. What I was trying to do is, instead of having a flat image, when you cut a die cut the wrong way, let me just get something to pat that down so I don't get all stuff all over me, because the white obviously hasn't oh dear, don't know, I'm hoping this will set, my glue will set. But what I've done is I have cut the regular die cut, which is this way, and cut another one, and of course when you've got them, they are round when you die cut them, and if you turn them over like this one, it's very flat on the other side. So I tried to get rid of some of the flatness. Now on the original card, what I decided to do was to try and get rid of some of the roundness of this, so I used my bone folder to flatten it, so that it wasn't as obvious. But what I decided to do on these was decided to put some Versamark on the back of it. So I pressed it in the Versamark, excuse me, and then I had some clear embossing powder and put the clear embossing powder on, so I could build it up. Have I done that? Yeah, so I could build it up so it wouldn't be as flat. And in doing this, I did it 3 layers on the wrong side and just 1 layer on the right side. But as I was drying the embossing powder, I think it slightly went yellower, so it's not as white. So I would say if you've got white embossing powder, this would work better. So because it went on the slightly yellow tone, on this particular one, I decided to try and put some Whisper White ink on it to try and make it come back whiter, and the craft ink is just not drying. The Whisper White ink isn't drying, so I'm hoping it does eventually dry. So I'm going to put the Easter rabbit on there, so hopefully that will help glue it down. So now I'm having trouble colouring the rabbit. Don't ask me why, but I am really struggling. And I decided what I'd do, because I really like this rabbit and the one I've done underneath, and this is how I'm doing the rabbits from now on, and larger things. I have used my smoky slate, and I've used my I'm wondering if it'll do it on here so I can quickly show you what I've done while everything's trying to dry. So I'm just going to pick up my rabbit. So no, it's not the same one I used. Where are we? Right, so I'm picking up my rabbit, and just bear with me. And this is just scrap card that I actually get out of my tights. I'm going to see if it'll work on this. And I use the small brush. I find these fantastic, the small brushes. Been very pleased with them. I don't know whether they're going to be only available in the mini catalogue, which would be a crying shame in my opinion, because they are great. Okay, so what I tend to do is just stamp the image. Now remember, this is not Stampin' Up card, so it might not, and I'm going to come in and just darken my rabbit. Okay, and you can do as much or as little as you want. So this is coming darker now. And if you just carry on, there we go. Now that gives it a beautiful, even though this is not Stampin' Up card and doesn't work as well as our Stampin' Up card, you can see that that has covered my image without any brush strokes, any marks. It's just a lovely image. I don't put anything down the center or anything. I mean, really, what we could do, let's have a go. Let me try it. So I'm going to try and see if I can just round his body. If I can make it just a little bit darker there. Okay. And then let's do the other side. Go in there. So he's getting lighter in the middle, but he's going darker, so it does work a bit. So I've got that little bit, and then I could just do a little bit darker on his head. Okay, so you might not be able to see that as well as what I can on camera, but I've got it dark going on there and then lighter in the middle. So you could do something like that. I just prefer not messing about with that and to just do the image. I have done some darker areas on this one that we're doing. That's just how it fell, and I'm happy with it. It's fine. So that's how I'm doing that. And then all I've done is I've fussy cut, of course, I've fussy cut the rabbit out. I have fussy cut the flowers out that I'm going to put on him, and this is the Easter rabbit this is from, and then they're just gonna sit on top like that. So it just shows a little bit of his ears. I go like that. Now it's come a little bit white on here on my card, so what I will do later, not now because I don't think I've got enough flowers, but I will see, I might put some little flowers on either side to cover where the white's coming off there. Now I'll just move that out of the way. Right, so that's the front, and you could put some sentiment here and here if you want to. I haven't on mine. I'm just showing you what I've done on the one that I've made previous. So we're just going to stick this down now. So I've got prepared 4 of these sprigs, and I decided to do the same in the center. So on these, so again I've just going to put them going. Now on this card I left it going the same way, so you got them going the same way. Here I've done it again, so I am going to reverse it this time, so I'm hoping that this sticks all right. And I haven't gone over with the white ink on these, so just gonna stick that down in the middle. So I just more or less go down the stems with these, so just there and there really. So where's the rest of my bits and bobs? So on my second bit, so I've jumped a stage. On my second bit I have just done Happy Easter. So this again is one from the Stylish Shapes. So I've just done the Happy Easter, and I think my Happy Easter is from the bunnies. I'll just double check on that because I've been using the Celebrate You one as well. So is it? Let's see. Yes, it is. It's the Easter Bunny. So this Happy Easter from the Easter Bunny. And again, I have cut out, let me just put my glue pin in a minute. Let's move that out of the way. What have I done with my... I've done them ahead of time and cut them out, and I seem to have lost them a minute, so let's just start to move things around a little. Oh, there's one of them fell. So I just more or less I've done Highland Heather, Granny Apple Green, the dark and the light on these little bits here, and Daffodil Delight on the others, and I've left the centres white. Now I'm thinking about using my glitter dots, so we'll just see. So I'm intending on putting one going over the Easter around here, there, like that. Just hold that in place, and it's fell on the floor. So, and then the same, I've coloured the same on the other side, pussy cut, and I'm just bringing that, so I'm bringing that around like that. Just put those down a minute, and I think I'm going to get some glue dots. Just got that over. Oh dear, it's not my day today. Oh. Okay, come back. Okay, that'll do. There we go, that's it. So I'm going to bring in my gold, and let's do a couple of glue dots. So it's going to go right in the middle there. Just put one in the middle, and that's not one. Get that in there. Whoops, they flick about sometimes, and it's getting very sticky and gluey, and I'll just put that on there. Now I have got a very, very tiny hole punch, and I might, but I'm not doing it for this video, put some little tiny ones in here, but I'll match that up on the front. So I'll put one. Oops, too many out. That is a gold. Yeah, that's a gold. I'll put that on there. Just okay, so I'll just put that on there, and as I say, I might get those tiny weeny punches and punch some out to do that. Okay, so you open it up, then you've got the Happy Easter. We open up again, and then I'm going to stick some flowers. So I'm just having a look what I've done here. So we have got, that's for the back. Just bring. So ahead of time, I just done a load of these, so that coloured them in, and done a load of bunnies, coloured them in. What else have I got? Now, did I don't know whether I did 2 pieces of this or not. Actually I haven't, so I need to pull that. Right, so I've got some wood effect from the Thoughtful Touches, I think it was called, something on them lines. It has like all this floorboardy. I'll show you what I mean. I'm just pulling it out. Okay, so it has all this like floorboard wood, me just bring in my trimmer again. Oops, did they, you see? Okay, I think did 1/2 inch, so let me move that out of my way and see whether it was 1/2 inch. Yeah, it is 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to get 1/2 inch of this. So just put that in there. And we don't want too much, so I'm not even going to, oops, make blades come out a bit, just a minute. Okay, so just putting it in 1/2 inch and just bring that down to 2.5, I think I'll do. I'll cut that all right, yeah, 2.5, going at 2.5 and cut down just the 1/2 inch. Whoops, 1/2 inch. There we go. So we've got that. Let's just move those out of the way. So did I? Yeah, that'll do fine. So I've got the 1/2 inch there, and then I just basically cut some off. So this, it's tucked down to 2 inches, no, 1 7/8, so 1 7/8, and I'm just going to glue one down and then stick the other on the top, so just to make a cross with the wood. So, okay, you can cut it smaller than that, it doesn't have to be the same. Just put it there, about there, and then just do the same going across. So there's lots of Stampin' Up sets of paper that have kind of wood effect in it. So anything that's got kind of wood effect in it, or the other alternative, you could use the what's it called? Welcome Window. Welcome Window has got beautiful like I don't know whether it's for shelving or windowsills or whatever, but it embosses as well as cuts, and it just will give you a wood effect, and you could just use the coffee coloured one, or any sort of craft card, or trying to think of the early espresso, that's what I'm trying to get at, early espresso. You could distress it a bit as well, that would give you the same effect. Now I've cut these flowers out of the DSP, so these cut straight from the DSP, and they are cut out with the flowers from Time for Tea. So I'm just giving them a bit of movement by just sticking my fingers in them, really, and then I'm going to put them on with glue dots. So you just want a glue dot on each of them. So let's pull that off. So as I say, I love the glue dots from kits. I just find them great. I wish we did them so, because I just find them easy to manage. Just going to more or less put this sort of in the center of the bottom bit of the cross, and then I'm going to tuck this, tuck this, oh dear, it's floating about, tuck this to one side underneath the other one, and then just bring this another one in and bring that there, and just take the back off there. So I just find them more controllable than and this a bit smaller, I think, than the other one. And so I'm just intertwining the flowers. Can you see I've just intertwined them there at the bottom? And I have this lovely, let's see if I can find the gold in it. I have this lovely flowery one that I cut, and then I just chose to do the other ones because I weren't sure I could find 3 of those. So these are just a normal hole punch, these are, so not the hole punch. Just get that central, punch that, and I'll do another one. So if you follow me, you'll see how I do these easy. I just like to use them because it's flat. Okay, and then I've prepared the green. So I've done tone on tone to the leaves, and again these leaves are out of the Time for Tea, and again I'm just going to curl them round, each one, just making it so that it's not flat. Okay, there we go, and just move that, we need that in a minute. And again I'm going to stick a glue dot on each of those, get them back, and then just come off. I love the take your pick tool, and just tuck that where you want under there, and then the same, oops, on the other, just put one at the bottom. Okay, so we've got that one at the bottom, just tuck that in. Going to get rid of that last bit of the cross that you can see at the bottom, and then another one, oops, on here. That's it, and then just take that off and just put that coming out the bottom wherever you feel. That's it, that's good. And then I just use some little mini glue dots, and I've used the smallest of the dies in the stylish shape, so I'm just going to use mini glue dots on the back of this, and just stick this at an angle going across because he is risen. Okay, and then I've got these again. I just used the die to cut these out of the Time for Tea. So again, these are just using pure DSP to do all the work for you, so I've not had to do anything. And I'm just going to bring in this one first. I'm going to kind of do one up there, and I should have some more. Hopefully I've cut enough of these. I don't know whether I have. And then just use a glue dot again. Let's get rid of all the excess ones. There. Put them on the back. Peel off that and stick it somewhere on that one. And then one more of, no, it's one more there, isn't it? One more there. Okay, and use my glue dot on the back. And get that. Just bring that. Oops, a little bit out. Oh. Don't know. I don't know whether it's electricity that's running through me or what. And then I've got my my glitter dots, and I'm going to stick one in each of these. There we go. There we go, and there. And that's going to go. Did I take the back completely off that? I don't think I did I? Kind of hold it in place and then peel that off. So we want to do the same at the other side, and I'm just going to check whether I've cut, and it doesn't look as though I've cut those out, so that means I need to cut some more of those out. Right, so all I'm going to do is repeat what I've just done on this side onto this side. And I, as I say, haven't cut those out, so we'll have to cut them out so you can see what I do. So just bear with me while I pick up. So it's a cup of tea, so we want the cup of tea die. So it's the die that has the 4 of those, and then I just got the actual DSP is the and I'm just looking whether yes, I have. I've just got a spare bit there, so I'm just going to get my mini on the plate. Now try not to do any die cutting, particularly on camera currently, as it's going to shake the table, but seeing as though I haven't got everything I thought I'd got, life gets in the way sometimes and you have to stop and let's move that out of the way, and then you forget what you have done and what you haven't done. So I'm going to get my plates, my mini, move that out of the way. So bring in my mini, love my mini. Okay, and let's change them over. So I'm just kind of going to put the two so that they're coming off. Are you able to see that? So they're coming off, because I'm not bothered about little ones, I want bigger ones. So I'm just going to run this through, and it would do with one cut, but I don't want to go all the way through, so just put those two to the side, bring it back in, and I'll do 2 down this side now. Hope you can see what I'm doing. I'll have 1 extra cut there, that'd be fine, and then take it back because I've got no space to carry on winding it through. Right, so I've got those, I've got plenty now, so don't want to lose my die, so I'll put my scraps out of the way, just get rid of my mini a minute. That snapped up rather nastily, I didn't want to do that. Okay, just pop that out of the way, and my die holding in my hand because I don't want to lose it. It's time for tea. I love this time for tea. So if you're following me at all, be aware of what sets I have got, because I don't stop using them. So when they're no longer available, I'm afraid just get them. If you like what I'm using, please get them, because I will keep going back and using them. I don't forget about them once once they're out. I carry on, I'm afraid, because I can't afford to buy things and then not use them. So I was hoping that I would be able to inspire people to buy from me, but it's not happened for me, and I can't obviously keep funding forever. I'm getting to the end of what I can do, but I enjoy filming, I enjoy card making, I enjoy this, so I will be carrying on. But the things that I use will be Stampin' Up, most of it. As you've seen me do today, I do Stampin' Up. Now I've lost my glue dots. You'll be shouting where they are at me. I'll just have to get more out. So, must have disappeared at the moment. So I go back to sets that have no longer sold, but they're in my stash. So there are things that are very similar that you can use. That doesn't seem to be curled as much. Bend it a bit, so just give it some movement. So as I say, be aware of what I've got, because another thing that I will just forever fern, fit in florets, artistically inked. I go back and back and back to these. I've got something called Beautiful Bouquet. I'm using that forever. Everything is rosy. You know, I go back and back and back. I put the boho indigo and I use that. So be aware. So I'm just not particularly matching the one that I've done on the other side. I'm just, as long as it's got some flowers on, because no plant's identical to another plant, so you don't have to do them. This fit-in florets, I don't know what you call it, flourish, whatever it is, I will use this over and over again. The actual Splendid, I don't know whether it was called Splendid Day or not, but no, that's a red one, don't want a red one. I will go back and back to that one. My hope is, my big hope is that they will think about putting it in the annual catalogue. I will find out soon what's in the annual catalogue, but I would be hoping that it's something like that's gone back in, because it's great for little flourishes. Is it there? Okay, so that's how the inside looks so far. Just checking, yeah, that's how I did the other one. And then the back part now. So I've cut 2 pieces of card, so let me just get rid of that now out of my way. You see, this stamp set that I am using now is no longer available, and a kind demonstrator let me have this one. It's called His Grace, and I'm afraid I will get it out every that whoever believes on the name of Jesus will be saved. So let's see, I do find it hard because this hasn't got the writing on here, so I find it very hard to know whereabouts. So my wish, of course, is that that you would accept Jesus into your life. Let's see which way this needs to be. I think it's that way. Yeah, I think it is. There we go. May his precious gift be yours, and that is my sincere wish, that you'd come to know Jesus as I know Jesus as my Lord and Saviour. So right, so I put these two together, and I'm bringing in the flourish now. Now I'm just stamping that up, and then I want to stamp off, so I'm just going to stamp off. Oh dear. Let's see if I can move that over there, bring this in a bit. I need to keep these two together. Now I've got a lip on the edge of my picnic table, and this is what I used to keep it together before, so I'm hoping I can do this, because what I want to do is just stamp off to take some, and then I'm just going to bring this in and stamp over the top. Oh, didn't do it this way round, that's why it's going over. Oh, I've done it the other way. Now what I did do is I did it top and bottom, whereas this one I haven't, so I'm going to stamp off. Nearly forgot stamp off because I want it that little bit lighter, so I'm going to do this slightly different so that that goes down there. So I'll show you my original one. And so my original one, this one I've done with a C, but because I've done that, I've lowered it and so that it works out like that. And I thought I'd just pick, I have got a purple posy, and I know purple posies not available, but they are bringing some colours back. Now I would highly doubt purple posy would come back. The reason with purple posy, it wouldn't stabilise, and I happen to get the 5 in colours in the Stampin' Right markers. So I have got, this is the only purple posy apart from some card that I got, that I've got purple posy. Now it's very, very similar and this could be the whole reason, because it's very, very light. If you look on the lid, it's very, very light, but as I'm using it, it seems to be very similar to Highland Heather, and I wanted something that the Stampin' Right markers are excellent, and it's a way, if you can't afford to get a lot of colours, the Stampin' Right markers are excellent for actually getting a load of colour, because the Stampin' Right markers, of course, you can use these to ink up your stamps. There, and I do like the Stampin' Right markers. They're quite a lot different to the blends. But I'm loving them more and more, I am, to be honest. I've got quite a few because I didn't want to get all the Regals in colour. I bought the Stampin' Right markers in Regal, you see. And I just thought this just put a nice bit of colour on the... I just love this flourish, it's gorgeous. I'll just just the flowers, because I do like lilac and grey. Oh, there's a little. I'm hoping you're catching me. Yeah, I think you are. Where is the? Oh, there's a flower just here. In a bad place, that one. There we go. And the Stampin' Right markers are great for if you do some stamping and it doesn't quite stamp all the way. You can actually go in with the very fine tip of the Stampin' Right markers. This very fine, oh, just found this bit. You can go in with the very fine tip of this and you can actually just go over where it's missed, and you can get away with it quite a lot of times. So that goes like that, but now obviously I've got to make sure which way round it is, which is that way, and I'm going to stick these on the back, and then you can write down here, of course, on after your sentiment to do this. So now I have got one more card for Easter. I did want to do some Easter treats as well, but I've got to wait again because just been to Centre Parks. Love Centre Parks. We went in a really lovely, we went in an exclusive, don't know whether you call them villas or what you call them, but it had a games room, a jacuzzi, a steam room, sauna, fabulous. And why did I bring that up? I forgot what I'm saying. You know, when you just forget all these things. So that's why I've had a break and done half things. Oh, I know why I said it, because I took my little mini eggs away with me because we got some meringues and we were gonna have that with cream and strawberries and add some of those in. So that's how I've done that going down there. That one I did with the U going up there, so you'll see. So I hope you like that. You could put something on here, as I say. I do want to stick a flower on there now because it's not done what I want it to do. So I've got one now so that I can stick a flower on there. So, whoops, don't lose my purple posy to try and get the back of one of these. That's crazy. I'm going to stick that right over that because it's gone up. Dear me. Oh dear. Oh, I'm playing tiddlywinks. So I'll stick that right over there in that gap, and then I want a glitter dot over the top of it. Okay, there we go. So you can do it that way if you want, so you can have your Happy Easter that way. Open it up, you've got a bunny and he is risen, and then the back you've got rejoice in his grace and may his precious gift be yours. So hope you like that. I hope you can see that all right. So just show you again. So you've got your Easter bunny that way, or you can put Happy Easter that, whichever way you prefer. He is risen, because that's what Easter's all about. And then rejoice in his grace, and may his precious gift be ours. Thank you very much for watching. Sorry it's been a long video. You can see why I did prepare a lot of the stuff, because it takes quite a long time to do. So thank you very much for dropping by. Do appreciate it. I'm Sue Boo, bringing crafting to you. God bless. Bye for now.